Hi, it's Iquo and Philip here, a Nigerian who's currently living and studying in Taiwan. I'm doing my PhD in molecular medicine at Institute of Biomedical Sciences, Academia Sinica.
My name is Julius Philip, Iquo's husband, the father of 2 boys, one an angel and one still with us.
So 3 years ago, I got on the plane to Taiwan after receiving a scholarship that was about to change the course of my life. At that time, it was about the scholarship that I got in Taiwan to come do my PhD. I was without my family. It was tough, it wasn't easy, but the hope of having them join me soon was what I held on to. On the 14th of September, 2024, this was 2 years after I left them, we are finally reunited together again as a family. My husband, my 2 kids, my older son, together as a family, we are happy.
Coming to Taiwan was a big one for me. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew I was following Iquo to pursue her dreams. Her dreams are valid, and I didn't want to be a hindrance to that dream. And so here we are.
It was the week of the Chinese New Year holiday. And I remember on Chinese New Year Eve, we slept. And then in the early hours of the morning, we woke up to our first son, who was slightly down in health. He was still communicating with us, he was still talking to us, and then we had to rush him to the hospital. Our son had only 3 hours to live. 1:39 p.m. was when we lost him. And this changed the trajectory of my life because I was going to quit the program and I was going to leave Taiwan.
So Iquo had a 1-month break away from the lab, so she could just clear her head and be with family. But at the end of 1 month, she had to return back to school. And so when she returned back to Taiwan, Rutian, ever the big mother, always around her, suggested that she needed counseling, and she discussed with me. And we thought that counseling was a good thing to do.
Yeah, so in the beginning I was quite nervous about taking counseling because there is a popular dimension to counseling that has to do with you seeing a shrink. It means there's something wrong with your head. But there was nothing wrong with my head, but I knew that I had suffered a trauma. So when Rutian suggested the counseling and at the community center, I was nervous at first, but I decided to give it a try.
In the period that I was away in Nigeria, we talked a lot, and in one of sessions, she told me what she picked up from the counselor at the center was that we all carry a grief case. And our grief case is not conditioned by time. In the grief case, we can lay it all out. We should feel vulnerable, cry, talk about it when we have to talk about it. And then we shouldn't be under any pressure how long it takes to grieve.
The counselor that was assigned to me was very, very professional. I remember the first time I walked into the room and she gave me a cup of water to drink and she said, "Feel free, you are in a safe space." And then I knew that I could be heard. I could talk about how I felt. She could relate with what I was going through. And then there were so many times when I had to deal with some terrible traumatic experience, which I didn't even know what I was going through. But talking to her, she was able to tell me what I needed to do, some coping strategies. She could relate with the loss that I had. I was in a safe space, a space where I could talk about whatever it was.
I can relate particularly because every time we spoke on the phone, she would always say that the counselor was looking forward to having a family session with us. So it meant that she was comfortable within that space, and then she looked forward to having us around. And I mean, it was such a rewarding experience that when we came to Taiwan in summer, we went there, and it was a good session because when this whole thing happened, I'm usually very withdrawn because talking about it evokes a lot of pain and emotion. But that was a good space where we did it with our son present.
One of the things that I learned was how to cope with the guilt game. She gave me a coping strategy. She gave me some how to breathe help, and she also gave me some affirmations. And these affirmations, I was able to walk through my day whenever the guilt game came up, letting someone, particularly a professional that you can connect with, guide you through this ups and downs would also be helpful for recovery, which has been really helpful for our recovery.
100% recommend that folks who go through a trying time, not necessarily the loss of a person, but maybe through a trying time, a hard time in life.
Being in that counseling had really been helpful for me. Yeah, you don't have to be sick to see a counselor.